He was only in one scene. He didn't fight, didn't fly, and definitely couldn't make miracles happen. And yet, somehow, Miraclemax became a legend. In cinema, it's not always the heroes who leave the biggest impact. Sometimes all it takes is one wild performance and an amazing MLT sandwich to create movie magic. In The Princess Bride, that magic came in the form of Miraclemax, a grumpy old miracle worker who, despite having a grumpier, older wife, managed to become the most beloved character in the entire film. The secret? Only 3 words. Now, you may wonder how 3 words completely changed a character. Well, keep watching and we'll find out. But before we charge at Miraclemax, let's do a breakdown of the movie. The Princess Bride is based on William Goldman's novel of the same name. It was directed by Rob Reiner in 1987, and without any doubt, it is a rare gem of a movie. It's a fairy tale that doesn't take itself too seriously, combining romance, adventure, sword fights, giants, rodents of unusual size, and of course, true love. The story is framed as a grandfather reading a book to his skeptical grandson. And what unfolds is both whimsical and surprisingly heartfelt. The plot follows Westley, a humble farm boy turned dashing adventurer. Poor Westley. No, sorry. Dashing Westley goes on a quest to rescue his true love, Princess Buttercup, from an unwanted marriage to Prince Humperdinck, otherwise known as the King's stinking son. In the end, the princess is obviously saved, and they lived happily ever after. But it's not the main characters that end up as pop culture references or leave a lasting impact on the audience. It is our very own Miraclemax, the ever so delightfully chaotic Miraclemax. He appears only once in the film, in a single short scene. Westley, after being captured and literally tortured to death, well, mostly dead, is brought to Max by Inigo Montoya and Fezzik. They want to bring him back to life, but what they get is a cranky miracle worker who was fired by the same king's stinking son and isn't exactly happy to be helping. Max is blunt, sarcastic, and wildly theatrical. His bickering with his wife, Valerie, is half domestic sitcom, half stand-up comedy. And while the role could have easily faded into the background as a convenient plot device, what happened on set turned it into something entirely different. The man behind the miracle was none other than Billycrystal, who was already a celebrated comedian by that time. Now, no matter how much of a good comedian you are, if you are reading lines from 1,000 times edited manuscript, it doesn't just look natural. That is where the director, Rob Reiner, enters the picture. Rob is known for his flexibility and trust in his actors, so he gave Billy the green light he needed. During the scene, he came to Billy and whispered, "Forget the lines, just go for it." And these words marked the success of the character, because Billy went for it, and he went all in. What was meant to be a short, efficient scene turned into 3 whole days of filming, with hours of footage that could have easily filled a stand-up special. Billy delivered line after line of medieval, Yiddish-flavored improv. It was as if he had been preparing for this role for his entire life. And as soon as he heard that "go for it," he delivered the best performance in the history of cinema. From cracking jokes about Westley being only mostly dead,
He is only mostly dead,
to accusing people of rushing miracles and suggesting they check the corpse's pocket for loose change. It was absurd. It was brilliant, and it was utterly impossible for anyone to keep a straight face. What was shown on screen was not even half of the chaos that went on behind the scenes. Rob Reiner himself had to be removed from the set, not fired, just politely escorted away. Why? Because his laughter was so loud it was ruining takes. Even the crew members joked that his laugh could be heard in Detroit. The actor Cary Elwes, who played Westley, had to lie perfectly still as a corpse, but he couldn't stop laughing. So, eventually, he was also replaced by a foam dummy. The ones who couldn't be replaced or kicked off, set suffered from bruised ribs from just trying to hold their laughter. Even the crew had to bite their own hands to keep from blowing the take. It got so out of hand that what should have been a simple bridge scene turned into one of the most expensive and time-consuming moments in the movie. Here's the amazing thing. All of that chaos was actually worth it. Despite being on screen for just a few minutes, Miraclemax became one of the most quoted and cherished characters in the entire film. Why? Because Billy didn't just play the part, he owned it. He gave Max a backstory, a personality, a voice, and a deep sense of comic timing. He made a throwaway side character feel real and weirdly relatable. Audiences didn't just laugh at Max, they remembered him. That line, "Have fun storming the castle," is etched into the history of pop culture. Fans repeat it, meme it, and quote it at weddings, D&D games, and job interviews. Well, okay, maybe not that last one. Hopefully. This scene was a classic example of crafting a scene around a character. We're talking about something that goes beyond just giving an actor room to improvise. It's about letting the tone and timing of the entire scene evolve to match the rhythm of the character's performance. Originally, Max's scene was meant to be just a small detour to revive Westley. But once Billycrystal stepped into the role, it became clear that he needed to be more than just another side character. He had a presence, a whole comedic energy, and it needed to be shown in the channeled in the scene. So the filmmakers stepped in and slowed the pacing of the scene, allowing space for longer exchanges. The camera lingers just a little longer. The banter between Max and Valerie gets more screen time than intended. This wasn't just letting Billycrystal be funny. It was recalibrating the entire feel of the scene to match what Miraclemax had become. This kind of shift requires the director, editor, and cast to be deeply in tune with the performance and humble enough to let the actor take the lead. This moment also highlights one of the most underappreciated truths in filmmaking. On paper, every character has its own quirks and personality. But bringing them to life on screen, that takes real talent. And sometimes that talent isn't just about delivering lines. It's about knowing when to toss the script and improvise something unforgettable. Oftentimes, improvisation can elevate a scene beyond what was written on the page. While William Goldman's script was already witty and clever, Billy's spontaneous lines brought an energy and unpredictability that turned the scene into a moment, a very fresh and alive moment. Improvisation allows actors to react in real time. It draws on their instincts, personalities, and sense of timing. It turns a performance into a conversation rather than a recitation. In the case of Miraclemax, it gave the character texture. The character was not introduced anywhere in the movie before this scene. No backstory was shared. Max had only this scene to build a connection with the audience, and he did his job damn well. He wasn't just a plot checkpoint. He was someone you could believe lived in the ridiculous fairy tale world, complete with marital bickering and sandwich preferences. That level of immersion is hard to write, but it's gold when it happens naturally. And the audience can feel it. They can sense when something magical is happening, when the laughter is real, when the lines aren't just memorized, they are lived. That's the power of great improvisation. It doesn't just serve the story, it creates moments that are the story. The story of Miraclemax is a reminder that great characters don't need hours of screen time. They just need personality, great timing, and a little bit of movie magic. And maybe a good MLT sandwich. You know, when the mutton is nice and lean and the tomato is ripe. They're so perky. I love that. In a film full of unforgettable characters, Miraclemax still made his mark, all thanks to Billycrystal's genius, a director who believed in him, and a crew who wouldn't stop laughing. That it was it for today's video. Which Miraclemax line lives rent-free in your head? Let us know in the comments below. Hope you liked the video. For more such videos, subscribe to our channel and don't forget to like and share. See you in the next one.